Good morning, my beautiful epic peeps. Hello, hello, hello. The sun is shining. Yes, 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 yes. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Couple things. My name is Samantha, and I'm coming to you on behalf of Epic Tri-County CT. Epic Tri-County is a multifaceted platform of positive media. EPIC stands for Empowering People, Inspiring Community. Empowering people, inspiring community. That is you, and that is what we do. And I am so grateful for you to take a few minutes out of your day today to hang out during this epic interview, because in a few minutes, when I bring on the guest, you are not going to be disappointed. I promise you that. There's a few things that I do have to go over. We call it the housekeeping, right? So again, my name is Samantha. I'm the co-publisher and co-creator of this beautiful positive media campaign. Includes our print publication, our digital, our social media, all that stuff. None of it, zero, zilch, none would be possible without Lisa. Lisa is the co-creator and co-publisher of Epic Tri-County, and I just always find it important that we mention her, because without her, none of this would be possible, right? You wouldn't be seeing me here, and this is one of my favorite things to do, especially because we have a guest coming on in a few minutes that, like I said, you won't be disappointed. Before we bring on Rebecca, there are a couple things that I need to talk about. One is tomorrow, February 5th. February 5th is Wear Red Day. Go Red Day. Wear Red Day. Go Red for the American Heart Association. It is about living fiercely and taking care of our cardiovascular health, okay? That is the number one killer of women. And too many women remain unaware of this silent killer. So tomorrow, I want to see pictures flooding your social media feeds. Text them to me. I don't care what you do. I want to see pictures of everybody wearing red. Dye your hair red. Paint your face red. Do your nails red. Okay? I don't care what it is, but we need to show support for the American Heart Association. Let me tell you why it's important. Because my beloved grandmother, Elizabeth, years ago, I was a little girl, and this was before even a long time ago. Okay? I'm not going to give away my age. All right? But my grandmother used to take me around. We would walk Sandusfield, Massachusetts. We would walk the roads with little envelopes for the American Heart Association. I can remember her taking me so far. My knees would get chapped from, those little legs rubbing together, right? My knees would hurt. But this woman just was so important. And the organization was important to her. All right. So I want to see red. Honor my grandmother Elizabeth with me tomorrow, and honor the American Heart Association. They also have other events coming up that you can check out the details on our website, www.epictricountyct.com. Go into events. They're going to have a lunch next week, a virtual lunching. Let's see, it's Greater New Haven Go Red for Women event. I apologize. That's on the 11th. It's not a lunch. It's 6 p.m. It's a dinner, whatever. Just go and check it out, all right, because it's important. What else is happening? February 12th, the day after the Go Red for New Haven, February 12th, we are going to be down on Franklin Street again for Valentine's on Franklin. We're going to be there with Lisa McDonald with her beautiful underground truffles. We're going to be there with Nutmeg Fudge Company. We're going to be there with Heather from Power Sanctuary Yoga. Whole bunch of artisans. Come hang out, have a cup of coffee. All right. And, we're starting to reemerge. That's what we're going to be talking about a little bit today, too. Great segue into the guest that I have coming forward. Her name is Rebecca Locicero, and I got it right. Rebecca Locicero. And Rebecca is a psychic medium. She is an author. She is an intuitive, intelligent, boisterous, beautiful, bold, authentic. I can't even say anymore. This woman kicks butt. All right. We're going to be talking today to Rebecca about some of the important aspects of being a medium, being a healer, being a professional practitioner. All right. The importance of some things. But I also want you to send her some huge love and light. And I want to see some hand clapping in the comments, because this beautiful woman is featured on a Netflix docuseries, episode number 4, called Surviving Death. All right. So we have like a movie star on today. So without any further ado, I'm bringing on our friend, our Sage Wisdom contributor. I love you. All right. I'm so excited that you shared that. I cannot wait to watch it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'll take my Academy Award anytime now. Thank you.
There you go.
Red carpet to me.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you.
Cheers to ya.
I love it. I love it. So besides, flitting around with the Netflix producers and all that.
No.
Tell us a little bit.
Films. The people that did the Netflix documentary series, Surviving Death, it's based on a book by Leslie Kean called Surviving Death, and Ricky Stern and Jesse Sweet and the whole production company and the way that it worked, it was so cool. And just the fact that I'm on it for like the 2.2 minutes of fame that I have, I do think it was an awesome clip. So people should definitely get on their Netflix.
Absolutely.
And be like, I know her.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. I was telling my peeps to take a picture of me on their TV and send it to me, because I'm like, look.
I love it. I did want to thank you officially for being the contributor to our Sage Wisdom feature also.
Oh, thank you so much.
Anybody watching that hasn't already gotten their hands on the January-February issue, please do, and check out the Sage Wisdom that was shared by Rebecca. It is awesome, inspiring, and authentic. I love it, love it. So you're a Netflix star. You're also an author of your own book. You are very involved with the Forever Family Foundation.
Yes. And that is actually who is on the Netflix episode.
Okay.
It's featuring the Forever Family Foundation, and I just happened to be a part of that awesome foundation. And that's why I was on Netflix. It wasn't about me. It was about the foundation. So yes.
Nice. Can you just real quick, tell us a little bit about the foundation, and also we had talked earlier about the medium explosion. Tell us a little bit about that whole bubble.
Okay, so many years ago, almost I'd say 13. No, couldn't have been 13, but many years ago, we'll say more than 10 years ago, I met Fran and Bob Ginsberg, and they were the founders of the Forever Family Foundation. And this is a nonprofit organization that's also non-secular. And they combine studying the afterlife and scientific validations and studies. They have people on their board that are, 2-time masters in physics and psychology and all. I mean, the vast amount of intelligence that's put into these studies on the afterlife, and they put that information out, and then they certify mediums. So if you have the ability to be measured in a sense through a scientific study, like a scientific test, they have what's called mediumship certification. And if you pass this certification, then you can become one of their mediums for this foundation. And right now, I've been a medium, like I said, for over 10 years now with them, a certified medium. I take great pride in it. We do wonderful grief retreats. That's what wound up on the Netflix show. But it's also one of these organizations that doesn't take any bull honky.
Got it.
Their testing is really, it's not to necessarily say, are you a medium and are you communicating? Because they're not going to judge whether or not you are really communicating or not, or, to that extent. It's more about it's that validation of afterlife communication. So it's one thing to be able to say somebody's name and date and talk to them and give validation so the sitter understands. It's another thing to say they love you, they're doing okay, they're in heaven, which is nice and maybe true, but not validation, like of the actual activity.
Right. So you're looking for that balance. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I also study mediumship through the United Metaphysical Churches in Roanoke, and that's what we also do. It's validated mediumship. We're asked and we train. And when I say train, it's just like building a muscle. You you practice, your channel's open, and we're asked to give validating evidence, evidential mediumship.
Evidential mediumship. Yes. Bob Ginsberg would probably be very, very happy with you, Samantha, that you just used the word evidential, because that is actually the correct terms. Yes. So thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. So Mr. Ginsberg wrote The Medium Explosion. What's that about? I can't wait to get my hands on a copy of it.
You can get this on Amazon, okay? The Medium Explosion, Robert Ginsberg. He is the co-founder of the Forever Family Foundation. And I want to give a shout out to his wife, Fran, the other co-founder, RIP, Miss Fran Ginsberg. I'm sure she's watching over this and watching over us. We love her. The Medium Explosion is a guide to navigating the world of those who claim to communicate with the dead. So this man, for so long, through his story of his losses, and his wife, they founded the Forever Family Foundation really just to get this evidence. And along the way, some of the bull honky
I love that.
Robert Ginsberg has come across. I mean, the stories in here, I'm not going to say that he names names, but I'm going to say that he names names. And of course he does, and he should. I am one of the names in here. I read it. I think it's okay. It might be a little vulgar or 18 and over. I think he put like a warning before my chapter.
I love it.
So for all the peeps watching this, you need to go get this book just to find out why Bob Ginsberg in The Medium Explosion had to put a forewarning before the story that he put in here from me. Just a shout out. Bring you a little curiosity, but it is an absolutely phenomenal book. It basically gives people a very wide-eyed opening to ethics within mediumship in particular.
Right. And you just opened up a great topic I wanted to touch on, ethics. Tell me how you feel about that and how you operate at the Beyond Center through the lens of the ethics, because it's so important right now. If not, it's important always, but right now people are so vulnerable and so open and eager that ethics should be a required course, for practitioners, I feel.
Oh, yeah. That's an excellent way to put it, that ethics should be a course for practitioners. Yeah. Ethics, any business would have a code of ethics, or a club would have a mission statement, or, if you're going to do something for somebody, it's very important for you to be aware of what you can offer. What can you offer? Your ethics should align with what you can offer. And it really does need to be truthful. So here's the clitcher of this. When we are able to say the words post-COVID or post-pandemic, let me say that. We are still in a worldwide pandemic. They have not taken that label away. We're navigating inside this closed block. And when we are post, and that is taken off, and we are free to fly, we are all going to need help. And I mean, I'm going to need help and resources. And I'm even channeling a lot now to be a resource to help. You're going to have to be a resource to help. People need to read books like this, because if they've lost loved ones, they're going to need resources to help. And it's just really important right now that people know that if you're going to reach out for help, you're going to be reaching out for it in different ways in post-pandemic. And if you're reaching out for it in spiritual ways, because we've been so limited in our external connections, we've become accustomed to a lot of spiritual and internal connections, especially being quarantined. Like, when has that ever happened?
Yeah, right.
So, you know, I need people to understand that there are ethical practitioners, and then there are piece of crap practitioners. There are people who really care about you, who need money to pay their rent, to run their business, who also want to channel healing energy for you in any way they can. Everybody probably should be raising their prices just a little bit for holistic practitioners right now, because we are being COVID compliant. I feel like that goes along with a lot of businesses, my center in particular. I'm spending more to keep it safe for you. I may have to charge more. But don't be ridiculous. Don't make empty promises. Don't be like, I'm going to put you on my healing bed, and for $150 for 45 minutes, I'm going to align your chakras so you can jump out into the post-pandemic world and everything's going to be great. It's not going to work like that. Don't fall for anybody's line of crap. If you're mourning and hurting and you need to hear from your loved one, find a good medium. Do your research.
Yeah, do your research. And you know, I think that through the community that we're creating, we're a very good resource, and it brings us to the mission
Yes.
of EPIC, right? Of empowering people and inspiring them to make conscious decisions, and to provide them the resources and the collaborative efforts of heart-centered, authentic, true practitioners, businesses, and organizations. You know,
Well, there are a lot of people out there who need money, who feel like they are psychics, not just mediums,
yeah,
who bought a deck of tarot cards during the COVID stay-home orders, memorized the book, and started doing readings. So they may have some sort of a connection to you, but that doesn't mean that their reading for you is for your higher good and not for their higher wallet or their higher prices. I mean, I just think it's extremely important for people to, you know, ask around. The best referrals and ways to find things are either to feel it intuitively, right? To guide with your heart and find something, to recognize when guidance is coming your way. And if you don't feel comfortable in something, get up and get out.
what are some red flags that maybe we can share with our community? Maybe 2 or 3 red flags that might be an indicator that something's just not quite right with the connection with someone.
I just don't want to make any of my medium friends upset.
Well, I'm going to give one.
I just don't want to. I'll tell you why. I'll give you one example of what came to my mind, because, you know, I'll be honest, not everybody works like me, and that is fine.
Right.
But red flags for me, 2 things. All right, 2 things come to mind. The first thing that came to mind, which some of my medium friends do, is there are no prices listed on their website.
Okay.
So if they are doing an event or a gallery, maybe they'll put a price up. But if it's, you want a one-on-one, and it's almost like you're paying for my time. So some mediums, they want you to pay per person, or like first person's this much, second person. Everybody has to do it the way they're comfortable. I can't judge. I don't know why, but I think you should. If I'm looking you up and I feel a connection to you, and then I have to email you for a price, it just makes me, I just want to know ahead of time, I guess. So I try to present that with my readings. I put my prices out.
Okay.
A red flag too would be somebody who asks you for all kinds of information. You know, okay, let me know who you want me to connect with. I'll meditate on them. And then I'm going to Google them, and I'm going to search them through DuckDuckGo Go, which is unfiltered, and I'm going to find out everything about you. And then when we have our session,
it's going to be great.
I'm going to tell you everything, and I'm going to be 100% right. Yay! No.
Fishing. We call that fishing.
Fishing. That's downright Googling. Like, you know, I tell people, have your code words, know your feelings, know your emotions, you know what's online, that kind of stuff too. You know, just, it's also very important too for intuitives right now to not overstep.
Okay. Love it.
There are a lot of, we'll say there's a lot of empaths who've been locked in for a long time. And now that they're just starting to figure out how to get out because they're either new with their empath or their intuitive abilities, or because they just don't have a grasp yet on them and they're still learning and still evolving. But I've had a lot of intuitives offer me readings and spill out on me or tell me, which as a mentor and a teacher, I can understand some of the reasonings, but don't overstep. I think intuitives need to be really careful right now about what they project on people that they think is being helpful and it's not. They need to check themselves, make sure it's not their own issues coming out towards somebody else just because they need a human to talk to.
Yeah, keeping themselves in check. I'm going to add one more for me. One that is that came to mind is if you are engaged with a medium or psychic or energy healer and you're going along in a session or whatever it is, service that you purchased, and they take you right to the edge. And then they say, for $25 more, we can go a little further, or for $50, we can go a little further. That's a red flag for me.
Yeah. It's like they're holding back information that they shouldn't. Like, you've got a God-given gift, don't abuse it. That's not good for karma.
Right.
Yeah, don't burn candles. I mean, you might get some psychics, like if you, like a common one is, if you need to go to a psychic because you need information about a job, or maybe, because you don't have one, or maybe a relationship and you want it to get back together, and they go, oh, well, okay, so your reading costs this much. Well, if you want that boyfriend back, we can burn these candles on this way for this amount of money and, wait 3 months and see what happens. Or, if you want to get that, or you have potholes in your or energy. I mean, the stories that I could tell you, and they're damaging too, from a medium's perspective. Okay. I'm going to get hot on this one. I do what I call curated events. So I'll do an expo where I get to choose who's going to be there and who's not. And I don't need to give you a reason why. And I've done 8 of them. My 9th is coming up in August in Glastonbury. Well, I had one lady once at like my 3rd or 4th. And I'm running this thing, and I see out of the corner of my eye, one of my clients get up from her booth. She was like some psychic from Glastonbury. She was an ex-cop. I don't even care calling her out. So one of my clients got up. She was crying. She left the hotel. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't chase that client. Next one got up, sat down, got up, crying, got up, left the hotel. I was like, I went outside after my client. I was like, why are you getting up from this psychic and crying? She said, she told me my dog was in limbo. My dog was stuck and suffering. And I needed to go home and sage my house with this sage stick she sold me to get my dog to cross over. So I told the lady, the sage stick is awesome. You're going to use it to get this lady off of you, and you can go sit in your car and watch me kick this lady out. And I went inside and I looked right at her. I was like, pack up your shit and get out of my expo. Yeah. Dogs and animals people do not get stuck. Anything that somebody says somebody is stuck or in pain or hurting or anything like that, they're full of shit.
I thought it's okay. You can say that word. Bullcrapy, bullcocky, whatever. It's a shit. It is what it is, I love to curse. When I upload it onto YouTube, when I go and actually revise it on YouTube, I put the warning on it for children. So you're all set. You're all set. Oh my goodness, you like jam packed. There's so much information that you shared, but I love your authenticity, and I believe that what you said about the post COVID, where we've all been swimming in this goldfish bowl, and that goldfish bowl is going to break, and we're going to be back out into this ocean, and the energies are just going to be like that, an ocean, a wave, and what you provided us today is almost like a life jacket in that wave that's coming.
Yeah.
Do your research. Look for the red signs. Ask people for referrals. We have a pretty tight knit community here in Connecticut and throughout.
And we're hurting. We're all hurting. We're all hurting. Everybody. In some way or another, we've lost a friend, we've lost a loved one. It might not be death, it might be life. I've lost people I love. Rest in peace through this. And but the COVID restrictions on our expressions was really tough. Although a lot of people used it as an excuse too.
Yeah. I know for me, personally,
it's not going to last.
As we
You're
wrap
like,
it up.
no, COVID, I'm not going. I'll be like, yeah, you don't have that excuse anymore. Like, I opened my center in February. I can have 25 people. I'm going to have 20. I'm going to start doing the readings. I'm open. I'm COVID compliant in Vernon, Connecticut. Our community is fantastic. Yeah. All of the holistic practitioners and studios, and yourself included, we need to be there for the people who are emerging. Samantha, you're in, and Lisa, you guys are doing so much behind the scenes too. But there's COVID. There will be a post-pandemic moment, and we need to be able to help each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what we're all here. And I appreciate you coming on. You've opened up some things that I'm thinking about lately. And so now those channels are open. I've had some, oh yeah. And I love that. We all do have a responsibility to each other, to ourselves, to our world, to be the ethical love, and I'm not talking kumbaya love, but just that universal holding people in the highest regard, holding people gently if they need to be held gently, maybe give them a kick in the butt.
We're all fragile right now. We have been scared. We have been presented with fear, whether we took it on or not. It was in front of us.
Right.
And we're not going to have to be afraid anymore. So it's like, yes, I like your analogy, the fishbowl in the ocean. We're still swimming. Thank you for the life jacket. I get you. Yeah. Well, I'd like to be an island next.
Yeah, there you go. We're working on it, right? Every day. Absolutely.
I got some coconut.
I love it. So if our beautiful community, anybody wants to reach out to you, how can they do that? I know Lisa's been sharing, but tell us how the best way to reach you for your services.
I would say to just go through, two ways, really. My Facebook is my name, Rebecca Ann Locicero. I have, I believe it's Messages from Heaven is it's like Facebook / Messages from Heaven page. And just find me on Facebook. Most of my events are on Facebook. Beyond Center's on Facebook, or my website, which is my name, Rebecca Ann Locicero. That's how I see it.
You were perfect, Rebecca Ann Locicero. And I'll never mispronounce your name again. When I wrote it phonetically, the way that you said, and I got it, sister. I got it. I can't wait until all the restrictions are lifted and we can finally meet in person. And we're going to have that moment that we spoke about where we sit down and just, shoot some, what did you call it? What do you call it? Boo honky? I don't know. Whatever. Whatever it is, we're going to do that. So thank you, my dear, for showing up. I want to, remind everybody, Rebecca also has her own book, Messages from Heaven, correct? Right.
Yes.
So check that out. What's that? Messages from Heaven. There's so much that Rebecca offers through her center, the Beyond Center. You can find her on Facebook under her name, Rebecca Ann Locicero, the Beyond Center. You can always find her through E.P.I.C. She was our Sage Wisdom contributor, so thank you for that. And to my beloved community, all you out there, okay, you know that we come to you every day with love and with light and holding your best interest in the highest regards. That is what E.P.I.C is about. We're a resource bringing you all kinds of information. We had some wonderful guests this week. Thank you, Rebecca. I want to thank Art Peterson again from yesterday. He was on. He was phenomenal. Everybody, have a great weekend, okay? Rock it. Wear red tomorrow. I want to see the pictures. I want to see them on our Facebook post. Text them to me. I don't care how you get them to me. I want to see the red. Sea of red. All right. Red is for power. Stay safe in whatever you do. Okay. Stay safe. Stay true to who you are. Stay in alignment with that beautiful being that only you can bring. All right. So stay true to you. Stay tuned to next Tuesday, and I'll probably pop on and off throughout the weekend. And as always, with love and light, we say peace out, Epic Scouts. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.